Hey everybody, I'm trying out a new presentation tool for work. I do a lot of presentations, spent a lot of time on Zoom over the past year in particular. And I got to admit, I'm pretty tired of PowerPoint, pretty tired of the constant Zoom meetings. And so I wanted to give this a try. And I thought, you know what, I want to do a personal update using this tool first to see how it goes. So thought we'd have a little fun. I thought I'd join the groups of people that are, year in review of COVID. It's been an interesting year. So just wanted to kind of capture some of the things that I've done and, maybe kiss this year goodbye. So top 10, started at number 10. I did my first budget. Decided that I needed to have some goals out there, and to hit your goals, you got to have a budget, you got to have a plan. So I started to adult for the first time in my life, and actually, really have some money set aside and really start to do things properly. So who knew? And I'm sticking to it too, I'm happy to say. Number 9, I became far more flexible physically. I've always been a pretty flexible person, but never physically have I been able to touch my toes at all. And I thought, you know what a great goal to give myself. I certainly had the time to do it. And so I just put my head down and started a regimen of stretching every night. And wow, do I feel better for it. Just everything feels better when I wake up in the morning. I don't feel like an old man. And I can touch my toes. I'm more flexible than my daughter is, and she dances. So much to her chagrin. Number 8, I decided to become a morning person. I'd read a lot about people who are very successful in this world and how they all seem to get up early. Sometimes they say 5 a.m. Well, I haven't gone to that point yet, but I started getting up at 6 a.m. every day. And man, I love it now. I absolutely love getting up, starting my day. By the time I start work at 8, have got so much done, and I'm just ready to conquer the day. So I really like it. Even on weekends, I'm getting up that early, and I quite enjoy sitting in bed, hanging out with my dog, and just getting ready for the day. Number 7, decided to journey on in my career and start a new job. So I'm just wrapping up this week my current job that I've been at for 2 years. It's a bit challenging finding a new job and a new career to move into during COVID, but I decided that, I wanted to find something that hopefully will be my forever home. And I'm really excited. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be starting that new job, and it's going to be fun. Same industry, but I'm going to be doing a lot more new things, going to be learning a lot more technologies, and I'm really excited. Number 6, I decided to actually make some goals for myself. This is something that I've never done before in my life. I've never taken the time to decide, what do I want my life to look like in 5-10 years from now? What do I really want? What makes me happy? And I finally decided to look at it from just my perspective, obviously taking into account my kids and my family. But really thinking long and hard about that. And funnily enough, the thing that really rose to the top that I want is I want to just be able to soak in a tub. And I'm just too big to fit in most bathtubs. So I've always wanted a hot tub. Well, if you want a hot tub, we need to have a house. And it kind of goes from there. So you need the house, you need the money to get the house, life goals start to happen. So once I kind of had that line in the sand, hot tub, the rest is just kind of gone from there. So, look out, world. There's a hot tub in my future. I reshaped my diet. I was tired of feeling lousy. And I don't like the word diet. I prefer, a lifestyle. To me, diets are temporary. But I wanted to eat better. I wanted to feel better more than anything. And also, diet really impacts mental health as well. And so I really clamped down. With the virus happening, it was quite easy to shift into, making all my meals at home. I'd never done that before. I hate cooking. I detest it. So my meals are very simple, and I eat the same thing most days. Not very diverse, but that's okay. I'm good with that, and it works well. And it's really made me feel a lot better, and I've learned a lot about myself too. Turns out I was dairy. I had issues with dairy. Had no idea. And I used to eat a lot of cheese. I've cut out all sugars, all refined carbs out of my diet. And man, I feel so much better for it. So that's been good. And it's something that's stuck now for an entire year. And I have no plans on changing. Best shape ever. Tied in with that diet, I also started a workout regimen. Now, I started the workout regimen for my brain and to deal with my depression. And that is one of the few things I've come across in this world that has helped me manage my depression, severe depression, in a way that wasn't medical or medicinally induced. Wasn't pharmaceutical, wasn't a med that I had to take. I take those too, but those just eked me out, barely got me through the day. I needed something to feel good, and exercise is that one thing that has consistently helped me. And so I just decided to get into a serious routine. And, I thought if I can have a solid year of doing this, what a foundation to build from. And man, I'm hooked now. So I'm in the best shape I've ever been, better than I was when I was in high school. I've never felt this good. So I feel great. My brain is in a good spot because of it. And I know the odd time if I say I've tweaked a muscle and I'm hurting, I need a day off, I notice that in my brain. I definitely notice an impact that makes, and I miss it. I miss it a lot. So just some fun around the health side, the food and the exercise. Like I said, I've moved to a diet that works really well for me, but it has not had a lot of variety. I've eaten a lot of eggs, eaten a lot of bacon, a lot of pepperoni. So it's more of a keto style diet that I eat, with lots of vegetables and fruit. And it's worked well for me. I feel really, really good. And I'm happy with that. But I think some people would look at it and would be a bit concerned with the variety. There's not a lot, but I'm all right with that. I'm lazy. The other side of this is the amount of exercise that I've done. A lot of exercises at home. And I have spent zero time at the gym, yet I'm in the best shape of my life. I haven't needed any fancy equipment. I don't have any exercise equipment here aside from 2 barbells. And the rest of it was body weight exercises. And I can tell you that you don't need anything fancy to get in shape and to get strong. It's amazing what you can do. A lot of information on the internet has helped me, find creative ways to do this, but to get in shape on a budget, it's not hard to do. And has resulted in me doing a lot of push-ups, a lot of squats, and a lot of other exercises, as well as I've been out kayaking. I do a lot of walking, especially with the dog. But I tell you, it didn't take a lot to do this, and I haven't been at the gym. When the gyms reopen, will I go there? 100%. I cannot wait to go back to the gym. But I didn't need that to get in shape and to stay in shape. And really, at the end of the day, getting in shape, feeling good physically was a side effect. It wasn't the goal of working out. It wasn't the goal of eating better. The goal of those 2 things was for my brain and to try and finally take control of my depression and my mental health. And it's been a huge, huge thing for me. But the side effects have also been pretty nice. I reduced my weight by 17%. I'm not going to get into the actual number of how many pounds that is because you know what? It's irrelevant. I feel good. I've shrunk substantially. And I need to buy some new clothes. But aside from that, it's definitely had an impact on, how I look and feel. And I'm happy. But the other piece is, and I know some people will, look at the diet that I'd consumed. And I did want to point out that, when I started this, I had a baseline cholesterol test done. And after a year on this diet and exercise, I've actually reduced my cholesterol between 15 and 20%. And all of that has to do with, the diet and the exercise that I've been on. So I'm really happy about that. Found a way to be happy by myself. When you're a single guy in this day and age of technology, it's really easy to get caught up in this constant cycle. You have the online dating apps, you have all these things, and it's distracting. It wastes a ton of time. And when you have goals in your life, it just gets in the way, to be honest. And I thought, what a perfect time to just get to know myself again, to really understand who I am, what I like, what my hobbies are. and not have that be skewed by me trying to be a version of Ben that I want someone else to like. I want me to like me. And so I've spent a lot of time, obviously, figuring that out. And now I'm unapologetically introverted. I hate leaving my house if I don't have to. I'm a complete nerd, and I'm happy with that. And, I think that allows me to then, work on my goals better and really just find a happier version of me. I'll probably date one day again. I've learned, especially from talking to my mom, never to say never. But I can tell you, once I finally was able to find a happy place with me, pretty happy with that, and it's a new thing for me, and I'm really enjoying it. This is a big one. Good old Augie the doggy, joined me back in September, and as much as he's driven me to drink a few days, and I haven't got a lot of sleep for the first few months. One of the best things that's ever happened to me. He's a good boy, and he's my wingman, and I've really enjoyed having him here, especially working from home. It's nice having the little guy with me, and sleeping at my feet right now. So he's definitely got the life. But Augie has been a huge addition to my life. Last but definitely not least, the number one thing that I've done this year that I never ever imagined I could actually pull off was that I've effectively beat my depression. So after 20 solid years of severe depression, in some cases has pushed me to the edge. Untreatable, typically, not something that the doctors figured they could deal with. Heavily medicated, nothing has ever worked until I finally got into this routine and focus that has allowed me to finally take control. The one thing I've realized is it'll always be there. But in the past, it took up probably 95% of my brain and my thoughts day in and day out. And now, if it's getting 1% to my brain power, I'd be surprised. Now, do some days, does it pop up? Oh, yeah, it still is there, and it always will be there. It'll always be sitting in the corner, waiting for an opportunity, waiting for an event to happen. But it's in the corner, and it's going to stay there. And I feel like I have the mechanisms in place to really push that forward. And I'm to the point now, after a year of stability and feeling better than I ever have in my entire life, I've actually started the weaning process of getting off the medication that I had always taken in the past to, frankly, just survive and, keep the lights on. If it wasn't for those, and those were necessary, if anybody is ever in a bad spot, do not hesitate to talk to your doctor about that. It's not something you should be shy about. If you need help, get it. It saved my life. I can tell you that for certain. But after I've been on it for now 14 years, it's time to see what life is like being clear. And I feel like I have the tools to do that. So I'm really excited about that. So I got a lot of work to do still, and I'm excited. I'm going to, put my head down for another year. COVID's still with us and is going to be around for a long time. Hopefully, later this summer, things will be better. But with that, that's the end of my list. And COVID, you can kiss my ass. I like to think that I've come out of this pandemic better than I went into it. And so, you know what? Screw you. Anyways, that's all I got to say. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.